Good evening. I'd like to call to order the December 12th, 2017 Planning Board meeting. First thing on tonight's agenda is minutes from November 28th.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the minutes of November 28, 2017, as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public comment. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on an item that's not on the agenda tonight?
I would.
Help you step up.
Oops, she dropped something.
It's on the floor at your feet, Patty. Yeah.
We're in a meeting.
Yeah, we've already started the meeting. If you don't mind.
Small town, you gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Okay. My name is Patricia Johnson, and I live on Wild Harbor Road in North Falmouth. I am here because I wasn't on the agenda, and I just sort of want to bring to your attention something that I've been interested in for quite a while. There's a little bit of history. In 1984, 34 years ago, I filed a petition article for the April 1984 town meeting to amend the zoning bylaw maximum building height as it pertained to accessory structures. I was asking for accessory structures to be allowed to go to 26 feet with a special permit from the Board of Appeals. The special permit criteria is generally the same now as it was in 1984. The actual, my proposal got indefinitely postponed, but I never forgot about it, and so I'm back here today, 34 years later, with a similar proposal. Partially because of, I think it would help make the inventory of potential structures for the accessory bylaw, it would give some body to it. It's not, I know that now detached accessory structures in your accessory apartment bylaw have to go to the Board of Appeals. I am not recommending any change to the accessory apartment bylaw. This is really focusing on the maximum building height section of our bylaw. And it's really very simple. I'll give you a handout so you can mull it over and some pictures. That's the way, I'm giving you a handout. It's where the maximum building height regulation for accessory build structures is. It is basically in a sentence just under the heading of 24070. It's just a sentence under it. It doesn't even have a 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, or whatever you want. So I would like to see you consider submitting an amendment to the zoning bylaw to section 24070 by adding after the words, the basic maximum building height is 2.5 stories, not to exceed 35 feet. And for accessory structures is, and I'd like to delete the 1.5 stories thing because it's sort of arbitrary, not to exceed 21 feet as measured from the base of the structure to the highest point. So the only thing I'm really trying to focus on is changing the number to 21 rather than 18. And it can be done right there in that sentence, or you could add a letter going down, because there already been all those changes, for accessory structures not to exceed 21 feet, as measured from the base of the structure to the highest points on lots of 40,000 square feet or more, or whatever else you want, or conforming in all other dimensional requirements. So I have 2 suggestions of what you can do. And this is why I have come up with this. I've been around town on my bike usually, and I'm looking, everywhere, and I'm seeing, what?
Pass it out and go back to the microphone so
I will.
people at home can hear what you're saying.
Okay.
But really, what you want is for us to put it on an agenda. Thank you.
Of course, I'd really like you to propose the amendment, if that's what you want, or word it. I'm just, playing with, I think that when you see these examples, people can still get a pretty big second floor over a 2-car garage or a 3-car garage, like down on Elm Road, and have a apartment, accessory apartment, but it's not architecturally very attractive. There are just under 2,000 detached garages. And if you notice where the maximum height is, it refers to accessory structures, not detached garages. It's a more general term. And one of the amendments, as you know, has brought it up to 26 feet if you're in a agricultural zone or it's for agricultural uses. So that's just what I'm here for. I'd like you to put it on the agenda, but I'd really like you to sort of think about it because I've been thinking about it for 34 years. And I don't particularly, I'm not planning a affordable unit. I just have an unattractive 2-car garage that had to be, I wanted and I'd like a gambrel. And basically when I initially planned the garage, the peak of the gambrel, a little triangle on the gambrel, and on people who have second floors on garages and have a gambrel, it's usually only 21 feet. So
Okay, thank you.
I'm just sort of nudging you, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Brian, do we have any A&R plans?
We do not.
Okay. The next is the Robert Paltz definitive plan, and we've received a request from the attorney representing the applicant to delay it till next week. So if any of you are here for that, I'm sorry.
So you would need a motion to continue the hearing to Tuesday, December the 19th, 6:30, here in the town hall.
I so move it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. The next item is Bogosian Development LLC, and we have a quorum issue tonight.
I would ask the board to simply table this item till your next meeting on December the 19th.
I move that we table the Bogosian Development LLC until our next meeting, December
Second.
19th.
Here in the town hall.
Here in Town Hall.
Oh, I've recused myself. Can I make this motion?
Yes.
Okay.
If you can't vote on it, we don't even have enough to vote on it.
It's just a continuance.
Continuance.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Moving right along.
Moving on, we're doing pretty well here. The next applicant is Rainy Water Trustee Site Plan Review to add an accessory apartment within the existing detached structure and barn located at 18 Woodruff Lane. This is a planning board discussion, so this is not a hearing. So we're just going to be talking amongst ourselves on this one. Brian, do we have a motion?
Got a motion?
You do in your package, Mr. Chairman?
Okay.
Do you want me to read it?
If you're ready, please do.
You should be reading the one from your package and not anything that was emailed to you previously. You made some late minute changes to.
I move that the planning board vote to approve the application of Randy P. Warner, trustee, Rose Garden Realty Trust, excuse me, under Article 39, site plan review of the zoning bylaw for a plan entitled Plot Plan, Existing Conditions Prepared for Rayner Warner, 18 Woodruff Lane, Quistit, Massachusetts, prepared by BSS Design, dated October 25, 2017, scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, one sheet, along with floor plans entitled Proposed Accessory Apartment at 18 Woodruff Lane, Falmouth, dated September 2, 2017, revised November 28, and November 30, 2017, scale as shown, one sheet, with the following findings and conditions. Findings. The applicant, Randy P. Warner, trustee of Rose Garden Realty Trust, seeks to convert a portion of an existing detached structure at 18 Woodruff Lane into a 462 square foot apartment with associated parking. The accessory structure is a 40 by 40 foot, two-story structure sited on a 1.353 acres lot with an 11-room, two-story, single-family house with a gross floor area of 3,792 square feet. The applicant's counsel, Amit Clower LLP, submitted a letter and revised floor plan on November 28 and December 4, 2017, addressing concerns of the planning board regards proposed square footage of the accessory apartment and separation of the remaining space, as well as revised egress in the detached structure. The planning board's review is restricted to the exterior of the building and will defer to the building commissioner as to issues related to building code, including, but not limited to, egress and separation from the proposed apartment floor plan and the surrounding space within the detached structure. The applicant's attention is directed to the Water Department's referral dated October 23, 2017. Each occupied structure on a parcel must have a separate water service with meter. The department indicates a separate submittal to the Water Department is required for review and approval of a water service to the proposed building. Findings pursuant to Section 240-23I of the zoning bylaw. A, only one accessory apartment shall be allowed per lot, and the above referenced plans comply with this requirement. B, either the principal dwelling or accessory apartment must be owner-occupied for a period of 7 months in every calendar year, or owned by a nonprofit organization or government authority whose purpose is to provide affordable housing. The board will condition its decision accordingly. C, either the principal dwelling or accessory apartment may be rented, but not both during the 5 months the owner-occupant may be absent. Rental periods shall be no less than 6 months, and weekly/monthly rentals, in parens, so-called, excuse me, summer rentals, so-called, are expressly prohibited. Neither the principal dwelling nor accessory apartment shall be used as commercial accommodations at any time. The board will condition its decision accordingly. D, the accessory apartment shall have no more than 2 bedrooms and a maximum of 800 square feet of floor area, or 40% of the floor area of the principal dwelling, whichever is less. The above referenced plans comply with this requirement. E, the total number of bedrooms on the lot shall not exceed 4 when the lot contains less than 20,000 square feet. The lot contains 58,939 square feet of upland. Therefore, this requirement is non-applicable. F, the board makes no finding on nitrogen loading and defers to the Board of Appeals for review as a special permit granting authority under 240-98C. G, based on the information provided, the board finds the architectural effect is that of a garage or barn customarily incidental to a single-family residence compatible with the surrounding neighborhood. H, the application for site plan review shall include the information contained in Section 240-195C, unless waived by the planning board. The board finds the information provided satisfactory in order to make a decision. Conditions. 1, the plan shall be constructed as approved. Any changes shall be reviewed by the planning board to determine if a modification of this decision is necessary. Pursuant to Section 240-183B of the zoning bylaw, no permit for full or partial occupancy shall be issued until the planning board is satisfied that the conditions of this approval and predecessor approvals have been met. 2, either the principal dwelling or accessory apartment must be owner-occupied for a period of 7 months in every calendar year, or owned by a nonprofit organization or government authority whose purpose is to provide affordable housing. An affidavit shall be submitted annually to the building commissioner, signed by the property owner, attesting that the principal dwelling or accessory apartment has been owner-occupied for a period of 7 months and not otherwise rented as set forth above. 3, either the principal dwelling or accessory apartment may be rented, but not both during the 5 months the owner-occupant may be absent. Rental periods shall be no less than 6 months, and weekly/monthly rentals, summer rentals so-called, are expressly prohibited. Neither the principal dwelling nor accessory apartment shall be used as commercial accommodations at any time. Need a second.
Second. Any discussion? Charlotte, you have thoughts on this?
None? None further.
We're voting without the other two?
We can, 4 will do it.
Yeah. Is this property for sale? Is that, did I understand that? Okay, it's currently for sale. Okay. Okay, that has an impact on my decision.
Why is, Bob, I mean, bylaw doesn't,
Well,
It's a good point. We should
I'm
understand what
looking
you-
at enforcement. And who's, you know, we're okaying something when we don't know who the owner is. I'm not comfortable with it.
I don't think special permits relate to ownership, they relate to the property. No?
Correct. Well, the planning board can't really look at the form of ownership under a site plan review. It's not even a permit. The Board of Appeals is within its authority to look at certain ownership issues of the use of the property.
Right.
But the board, as you see in your motion, has confined itself to certain criteria under the accessory apartment bylaw. But you're not with the authority to look at the form of ownership.
Pat?
Sometimes, Bob, to answer your concern and other concerns that I've had, we do a referral to the ZBA, and maybe we want to consider doing that with this,
What would-
expressing some of our concerns. I'm just throwing that out. That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with our vote on this, but we may wish to bring that up.
Here's the thing I want to consider. What if somebody's building a brand-new site, and they're a developer, they're going to sell a single-family home, and they want to build it with an accessory apartment into it because either in their primary structure, we're not going to allow it?
I'm just
That
throwing
wasn't
this out
contemplated
because Bob is
as part of
concerned.
our decision, and that would be
Yeah.
a change if
No,
that's
yeah,
taking
that-
it,
That makes sense.
Right.
That
you
makes
know,
sense.
okay,
Okay.
I think you have to take a look at the whole picture. I understand to be better to know the owner. I mean, we've had applicants come in, they didn't have even read the bylaw.
Yeah.
That they didn't even know what they were getting themselves into. I have
Okay,
a
that-
feeling this applicant knows what they're getting into and would have to sell it.
Okay, that
with the
allays my
attachment to it.
concerns. Okay,
That's what I thought, because
yeah,
I would like to encourage these things to get built this way.
yeah.
You know, it'd be nicer if they could do them right from the get-go and well-planned.
Yeah, but you make a good point, Jim.
Yeah, and I don't have any concerns about what we can look at.
Yeah, well, I'm certain about what we can look at, in fact. I brought that up the last time we get in the weeds, and so, okay. Okay,
Everybody else, we ready? Yep. That's a motion? And a
Second.
Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you. All set. Next applicant is John Reposa and Diane Reposa, site plan review for an accessory apartment with an existing detached structure at 307 Old Barnstable Road.
Charlotte, want to read
This is a
it?
discussion or decision, we've already reviewed this. Charlotte, you ready to read?
Sure. that the planning board vote to approve the application of John P. Reposa and Diane L. Reposa under Article 39, site plan review of the zoning bylaw for a plan entitled Plan of Land Located in Falmouth, Mass., being a subdivision of lots 8 and 9, as shown on Land Court Plan 2421-4D, prepared by Ferrara Associates, dated January 10th, 2007, revised April 30th, 2007, scale 1 inch to 40 feet, 1 sheet, along with floor plans hand-drawn by the applicant. Scale is shown in 6 sheets, with the following findings and conditions. The findings. The applicant, John P. Reposa and Diane L. Reposa, seek to convert a portion of an existing detached structure at 304 Old Barnstable Road into a 692-square-foot apartment with associated parking. The accessory structure is a 33-foot by 25-foot, 2-story structure sited on 2.49-acre lot with a 7-room, 2-story single-family house with a finished floor area of 1,794 square feet. The parcel is zoned agricultural A. The planning board's review is restricted to the exterior of the building and will defer to the building commissioner's regards to issues related to building code, including, but not limited to, egress, separation from the proposed apartment floor plan, and the surrounding space within the detached structure. The applicant's attention is directed to the Water Department's referral dated November 8, 2017. Each occupied structure on a parcel must have a separate water service with a meter. A separate submittal to the Water Department is required for review and approval of a water service to the proposed building. Findings pursuant to 240-23I of the zoning bylaw. A, only one accessory apartment shall be allowed per lot, and the above referenced plans comply with this requirement. B, either the principal dwelling or accessory apartment must be owner-occupied for a period of 7 months in every calendar year, or owned by a nonprofit organization or government authority whose purpose is to provide affordable housing. The board will condition its decision accordingly. C, either the principal dwelling or accessory apartment may be rented, but not both. During the 5 months the owner-occupant may be absent. Rental periods shall be no less than 6 months, and weekly or monthly rentals, summer rentals so-called, are expressly prohibited. Neither the principal dwelling nor accessory apartment shall be used as commercial accommodations at any time. The board will condition its decision accordingly. D, the accessory apartment shall have no more than 2 bedrooms and a maximum of 800 square feet of floor area, or 40% of the floor area of the principal dwelling, whichever is less. The above reference plan comply with this requirement. E, the total number of bedrooms on the lot shall not exceed 4 when the lot contains less than 20,000 square feet. This lot contains 108,446 square feet of upland. Therefore, this requirement is non-applicable. F, the board makes no finding on nitrogen loading and defers to the Board of Appeals for review under 240-98C. G, based on the information provided, the board finds the architectural effect is that of a garage or barn customarily incidental to a single-family residence compatible with the surrounding neighborhood. H, the application for site plan review shall include the information contained in Section 241-95C unless waived by the planning board. The board finds the information provided satisfactory in order to make a decision. Conditions. 1, the plan should be constructed as approved. Any changes shall be reviewed by the planning board to determine if a modification of this decision is necessary. Pursuant to Section 240-183B of the zoning bylaw, no permit for full or partial occupancy shall be issued until the planning board is satisfied that the conditions of this approval and predecessor approvals have been met. 2, either the principal dwelling or accessory apartment must be owner-occupied for a period of 7 months in every calendar year, or owned by a nonprofit organization or government authority whose purpose is to provide affordable housing. An affidavit shall be submitted annually to the building commissioner, signed by the property owner, attesting that the principal dwelling or accessory apartment has been owner-occupied for a period of 7 months and not otherwise rented as set forth above. 3, either the principal dwelling or accessory apartment may be rented, but not both. During the 5 months the owner-occupant may be absent. Rental periods shall be no less than 6 months, and weekly or monthly rentals, summer rentals so-called, are expressly prohibited. Neither the principal dwelling nor accessory apartment shall be used as commercial accommodations at any time.
Second.
Any discussion? Everybody satisfied? So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Moving right along. Moving so fast, I got the papers back. Okay. Notices. Do we have them? Yeah, this is, this is this, planning board,
This is a
Public discussion?
public discussion, okay. Notices.
There's a public meeting notice. It was published on November 24th, 2017, and 9 abutters were notified by regular mail.
Okay, so it's, yeah. The applicant Doug Brown, plan review for an accessory apartment within an existing detached structure located at 199 Old Main Road. Welcome back, Doug.
Hey, hello. Hopefully everything's on the board today. So what we have is an 1840 farmhouse in the front, and it's about 2,800 square feet. And in the back, a barn structure that was built in about 1876, I believe, somewhere in that area. And then, as far as I can tell, it was converted into more of a living space in approximately 1966. Not sure how much of that was done. It's previously been the home of a couple of businesses. Builder John Burke was there. I think he was the one who did most of the remodeling in the 60s. And then it was Benthos for a while in the back building. And then most recently Onset Computer. And then after Onset Computer moved out, the building sat mostly unused except for an occasional overnight guest of the lady that currently owns the house, which I'm hoping to purchase. I'm working on that. And so we've carved out a section on the right which includes a kitchen. You have the floor plans?
These are the hand-drawn plans?
Yes.
Do you have the pointer, Doug?
And there's a high-powered pointer
Whoops.
on the, right on top,
It's not here.
There's more pictures.
unless somebody took it. Well, the cameraman came out and lent it to us. I saw him put it there.
So that's the back section of the building. And this is just, really right now, I'm using everything here for storage. What am I doing?
No.
I'm currently leasing the building, and I have a tenant in the front, and I'm using the back part to keep my construction gear and so forth and other storage in this building now. And on the left-hand side where the round window is, that's the kitchen area. And on the street side facing right there to the right, see that small door? That's the entrance to the apartment area. And then the window to the left would be the window that will be in the bedroom. That proposed area. I have an extra, floor plan there. So you can see how it's carved out. That's the parking. You can see how it's screened by all the bushes. That's a good view of it. And then as you back out the driveway, even while you're in the driveway, you can see that you can really only see the back tail light of the truck.
Yeah, there we go.
And that's even while you're in the yard. Once you get to the street, you really can't see it at all. And there's a hedge across the whole front. So the parking is pretty well screened. That's the proposed parking. And the people that are renting the house park in the little circle that's there, and they use that garage that's there.
So this number, 796, that's 40% or less of the,
Yeah,
The
the
main
house
structure.
itself is 2,800 and,
okay.
well, it's over 2,800, so it's not even close.
So we're looking at It's this room. This is not, this is,
The slider there.
this is storage,
Yeah.
storage, storage. So the unit is just,
On, yeah.
is this just a one-bedroom?
Yes.
Oh, that's the bedroom.
That's the bedroom.
Wow, okay. Wow, it really is carved up.
Little thing, 11 feet.
Yeah.
So it's your living room, kitchen, and bedroom. That's
Yeah.
workable.
Yeah.
What's on the second floor?
Just one big open loft area.
Loft area? Any questions, Charlotte?
Oh, yeah, there's the one.
I missed how many, oh, there it is. The number of square feet in the accessory apartment is how much?
796.
And those two walls for the bedroom are proposed. I didn't write that in, but those are not existing. So that's how I arrived so close to the number I just
So you can make it
chose.
800.
Right.
Oh, that's the loft floor. What's this thing? That's why it's so tiny.
Okay, it's just the,
Yes, Pat?
What is the loft used for, Doug?
The whole thing is, right now, it's just a storage area, basically. Just, the main reason it's important for me is I have a lot of construction equipment and stuff that's mostly in that back room. So there's really no use for it. It's just sitting. There's a bunch of beds up there from, left over from the current owner, actually.
could you go back to the plot plan, Doug?
Yeah. I don't think I can. Maybe Corey can.
Right there, okay. So, yeah, that's it.
How is it heated?
Yeah. So it's that building, yeah, right there.
And this is the area of the apartment right here.
Okay, okay,
And this is the proposed parking, just gravel.
yeah,
There's a big tree right here, so I don't want to pave that.
yeah.
And there's a lot more pavement than needed out back, but it's just, that's what's there.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're looking to do is just put this apartment in that structure, use the rest for storage, and the principal dwelling is the house in front there?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Charlotte?
Doug, how is that heated?
Forced hot air?
From below?
Correct. There's an unfinished basement. There is a plan there. It shows the
Yeah,
furnace.
there is, a full basement underneath.
It's not really full, part of it's crawl, and under the back building, that's a slab. But there's pretty good substantial, there's actually part of the, it's probably maybe a third of it is a full basement, and then there's a couple of crawl spaces, and then a slab under the back building.
Now, you just heard us read two sets of conditions that we're going to apply. Are you prepared for them?
I am.
Okay. That seems to be the standard conditions, Brian, that were for the detached, the way you wrote that up?
As per the board's wishes.
Yeah, I mean, it looks, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I just wanted to, people applying in the future should make sure they look at these and know exactly what they're getting into. I'm all set, everybody?
Yeah.
No question.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Nope, nope.
Whoa, wait.
No vote this night?
Mr. Chair, I think
Oh, we have to have a public
it's a
hearing.
public discussion.
Yeah.
so it's public comment.
Going too fast. Anyone here would like to speak on this issue? I guess we'll continue it for another night then? Or not, close the hearing
If
and,
there's no further public comment, then we'll schedule this for a decision of the board's meeting of the 19th.
and 19th.
Yeah, I don't have my zoning board meeting till the 25th of January, so I
Yeah.
think there's plenty of time.
You don't need a vote to continue, we're just done, right?
No, it's a plan review.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Now I'm totally lost. Where's the agendas?
Now we're discussion.
Okay.
Okay. Planning board discussion. Applicant Kenneth Caputo, site plan review to construct a new 5,114 square foot urgent care medical building at 40 Davis Straits. We're still in the discussion phages. For the applicant, yes.
I have handouts of
Okay. Do we already have them?
There's also a
Yeah, they're in the packet.
Okay, that may be helpful. You got many sets of this?
Oh, yeah.
Brian, you want one?
Sure.
We've got a bunch. There's lots.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Ken Caputo with Caputo Project Delivery. Tom Scott from Scott Griffin Architects is with me tonight. And this is our second discussion. Last time we were here, we talked about the architectural design style. At that point, I think we showed two options. Our scheme one, which is developed here for color presentation, seemed to be favorable with the board. It was favorable with us as well. We were very excited to have reached a architectural design theme that fit the community well. I think we really, through site plan and the quality work that Tom has done, we have an opportunity now to turn the corner at Davis Straits and Dillingham into a very special place. So what we said we would come to do tonight is talk about color applied to those architectural designs. We do have a preferred, but I'm going to let Tom take you through the color. He also did a little fine tuning of the architectural style to address some really good comments we got from the board. So I'm going to turn it right over to Tom.
Hi, my name is Tom Scott. I'll take you through some of the little tweaks that we made. I think one of the major topics that of concern last time was the water table. We had a stone water table around the base of the building. Seemed to be a little bit of opposition to that, so we've eliminated it. And we went to a wide banded base element, which is just a trim element at the bottom of the building, and we've eliminated the horizontal stone band around the base of the building. We see some of, I think these elements, there was some discussion about pushing these all the way back. After discussions with our client and the team, we felt that we could push these back slightly, but we couldn't push them back all the way to get this total alignment here. I think you'll see as we move forward, and we have a 3D rendering that it is still very effective, and it kind of gives the impression that it was a porch of some type around the base of the building. So I think we feel strongly that that's an element we'd like to keep and not make any modification to. Other than that, we really then started to look at color, and the color in this solution was the gray, the charcoal gray roof with the white clapboard solution. And then we went immediately to this solution, which was almost like a cranberry red roof with a gray clapboard and a slightly off-white trim. And I think we've got a rendering of that. It doesn't show up as well there, but I think here you can get a sense of the color that we're intending for the building. And the red, I know everyone hears the word red and they get a little suspicious, but I think it's very important, and we brought a sample for the board to look at to see. And this is the scheme that the client would prefer, is if we can go with the red roof. But I brought a couple of samples of color. It's not a bright red, it's more of a cranberry style red, so I just wanted to point that out. And then, so we took the time to develop this 3D rendering because we think it was really important for people to understand the scale and the proportions of the elements of the building. You know, the columns that support the major rows of the building, here and here.
You need to see this?
The large,
Yeah.
the wide trim.
I can see it from here.
The wide trim that we use around all of the windows, the 6/6 Muntin. We're going to use a simulated divided light Muntin on all the windows, so they're going to look authentic and very Cape style.
Excuse me, that means it's attached on both sides of the glass and not going through. Not everyone knows the terminology.
Right. And they put a spacer in between the
Right.
glass so it appears as though
Right.
it goes through, but it's very authentic looking. And then we also tried to show some of the landscape in the rendering as well. There are a couple more trees. If you look at the site plan, there's a tree here and there are a couple of trees here. And we eliminated them just so it wouldn't obscure the building. We wanted you to be able to see the building. But they haven't been eliminated from the project. They're just for purposes of seeing the rendering. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. And I think we're just, we're open to additional feedback or hopefully you like what we presented.
Charlotte, you have any comments?
I do like what you presented, and thank you for being so responsive to our comments. That's really nice.
Thank you.
Paul?
Yeah, I agree. Appreciate the effort, Mr. Scott, to move forward. I had a question. I don't see the signage on the building.
So the signage is intended
To be in that open area right
this
there?
open
Yeah.
area and potentially this open area here, but I think that
Another
it's another
committee.
hearing.
Yeah, it's not us.
There's another hearing
Right.
that they have to go through.
But the
So-
sign is a percentage of the wall space, so it's not going to be that huge.
Right. They didn't make a great big wall just to get a big sign. That's
Right.
kind of,
We didn't want to show it because we felt it'd be too controversial and.
no, we can tell where it's going.
Okay.
Pat?
I have to tell you, I really like this. I like the thickening of the columns here. It looks more substantial. I like what you've done with the changes there. And I can see why you chose this rendering of it. I like the color scheme too. I think we can all be proud of this building.
Mhm.
Great. Thank you.
Bob?
Well, other than it's the fourth business in town with a corner tower,
Well,
and I'm okay with it. It's just, I'm sick of this design standard, though. The corner tower is getting a little redundant. I mean, this is the fourth building with that design.
except it's got a lot more detail in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fair
I
comment.
would call it a tower.
Well, I look at it as a tower. It's,
Very
it's,
residential and very,
yeah. I mean, but
cottage.
I'm not gonna derail
I
it,
think it has a residential look to it as opposed to commercial, and we're kind of trying to save some of that in that neighborhood. You know, because we've got, it's, after all, it's Cape Cod, and we have a lot of residential buildings that are in our commercial area.
And I don't see that actually as a drawback. 20 years from now, the buildings, and I can picture the ones you're talking about, they will be of their time, but that time will be back then, so they'll go together just as other buildings of their time that are now 50 years old do. I'm curious, though, what are you going to do with all that space up there? Is it going to be storage, or surely you're not going to heat it?
Oh, no, it won't, the space up in here?
Yeah,
No, it won't be heated or utilized.
no, oh,
It won't be.
First floor only.
Yeah.
I want to follow up on Charlotte. So are you going to have access to get up there and use it for storage if you need to at some point?
We will have to sprinkler the building as one of the requirements of the tenant. So that space will have a dry sprinkler system in it, so we'll have to have access at some time. So if there's any maintenance that's needed or anything like that, but it will not be used as storage. It's not intended for that, and we don't have an internal stair to get to that space.
Okay.
So Probably it'll be accessed from the backside of the roof.
Okay.
And that is right over the receiving and waiting area of the facility, so it's going to have a high ceiling. There will be, from interior, I believe there is rooftop access.
Yes.
That's just strictly for maintenance of the rooftop.
Like a pull-down
Yeah,
attic
we don't
stairwell.
have any
That's-
say in that
yeah.
anyway, so.
Well. Any other feedback? Anyone from the public?
Okay, so the board's looking at scheme 1A
Yes.
and this dated plan of 12/12 on the front. Okay, just so I'm sure when I write up the motion.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back on the 19th?
Yes, we'll see you on the 19th with everybody else now.
Yeah, going to be a busy night, the 19th.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good night.
And I found them.
Oh, good. I saw you use it. I wondered if you took it off there. All of a sudden, there it was. Is that it?
Oh,
Next,
you're gonna want this too.
Oh,
wait a
yeah,
minute,
your
that-
no,
samples.
that's somebody else.
That's
That's
somebody
Doug's.
else's, okay, this.
Your samples.
Oh, yeah, I'll grab them.
Don't forget those.
Where is my agenda?
I knew you could do better.
Okay.
I knew you could do better.
Yeah. You had to be allowed to do better, I think. Okay.
Wouldn't let him.
No general correspondence?
Yes.
There is?
Should
Not in
be.
a different color file. It changed the plan?
Uh,
I'm used to the, it's okay. I'll look for it.
I don't think it's here.
Something in general correspondence, as I recall. But it's not here.
Okay.
There was one thing, it wasn't urgent, and I'll give you a call tomorrow, Jim, about it,
Okay.
okay? And I'll email it out to the board members.
So we'll be ready for the 19th on it then.
Yeah,
Busy night.
So just
Yes.
remind everybody, so tomorrow night, the ethics,
yes, tomorrow night
Okay.
at the library, 6 o'clock, State Ethics Commission will be down to give us a tutorial on all the updates for ethics law and conflicts of interest.
How long do you think that will last?
Probably an hour.
What time is that?
6.
6 o'clock at the library?
It's required even if we've done it before, right? This is.
It's
something-
required for town employees. It's highly recommended for you as elected officials. That's a requirement.
So it could be an update on something, because we've had this before.
Yes, it's an update. My understanding is it's the lawyers from the commission will be down to give you a little, they'll give you this is the 101 stuff, but my understanding is they'll also have some, examples and some updates, is my understanding. This is a little bit more than the ethics test you take online.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
all right, so it's more comprehensive.
That's
No
my,
no coffee and donuts, huh? It's at
I'm
night.
working on that.
I don't know, Paul, come on, it's evening, we should
That's
have a
all I
buffet
want.
dinner for this.
Future agenda items, yes.
We had started a conversation about the multifamily zoning, finding a shape for it and deciding on what its provisions would be. I wonder if we could continue that. Sounds like the 19th is going to be busy, but we've seen most of it all before, so it might go quickly.
Well, we're going to be meeting with the commission tomorrow. Let's see, maybe we can set something up for the 19th,
Okay,
because they're going to be carrying the ball a little bit afterwards.
all right.
Well, because we had discussed having a meeting of the minds here,
Yes, have them present
right?
Right. So we'll discuss it,
on the 19th.
Thank you.
okay?
Yes.
It's important to me, too, because it's a key component to a lot of things. It's not just that one area.
Okay, on the 19th. Start.
That's the next meeting. It's on-
That will be the next meeting. It'll be a busy night.
It'll be a
That's
busy
okay.
night.
That's all right.
So we should, well, everyone tries to get here, but vacancies, absences can really cause some problems. That completes our agenda, folks.
Look at the time.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All set, thank you.
Thank